Royal Enfield's Himalayan model reached its last update point just a few years ago, but the last major updated model rolled in 2021 in India, the UK and Europe. This seems to be a carryover directly into my 2023 with updated bodywork that improve comfort and utility. The Himalayan comes with the Royal Enfield Tripper feature. It allows connection through your smartphone to bring electronic navigation support to the table for your various adventures, both on road and off. The Himalayan first launched in 2016 in response to rider demand for a capable adventure bike. All the research is in-house including the engine. This isn't one of the models re-inherited from its British partners, it's a fabrication all its own, forged from the crucible of the very Himalayan mountains themselves as the testing ground. Power for the Himalayan comes from an air-cooled, long-stroke thumper that redeveloped specifically to power this particular model family. The undersquare layout has a 78 bore and 86 stroke for a 411 cc total displacement and a mild, 9:5:1 compression ratio that should tolerate mid-grade, and maybe even bottom hook pusholine just fine. A standard non-slipper wet clutch couples engine power to the 5-speed, constant mesh transmission with a chain-type final drive. The 2023 Royal Enfield produces 24.3 horsepower and 23.6 pound-feet of torque. Power maxes out at 6,500 RPM, but the torque well bottoms out around 4,250 RPM with tractable power lower in the range. This is just the thing for negotiating the more technical situations you might encounter whilst traipsing over hill and dale. Royal Enfield Himalayan's top speed is an indicated 87 miles per hour, which is plenty fast enough for use on all but the fastest of roads. You can tell at a glance that the factory did its homework, cause the Himalayan fits that adventure bike mold to a T. The designers doubled down on the forward fling protection with a slider mount fender mounted close to the tire and a secondary mudguard mounted to the bottom of the triple tree so both turn with the front end. A round Cyclops headlight and narrow, rally-style windscreen complete the front end with the front blinkers mounted high, well out of harm's way, except for brush strikes that could still pose a threat if you aren't careful. Just behind the front end, on both sides you'll find a pipe rack meant to carry jerry cans for extended trips either off-road or through fuel deserts. The 4-gallon fuel tank contributes its usual hump to the profile with a narrow rear where it tapers to meet the skinny waist. At 31.5 inches high, the seat height may tax shorter riders but relatively speaking, it's rather low for the genre. It's a necessary evil to accommodate the fairly generous suspension travel and 8.6 inches of ground clearance. The lofted pillion pad has beefy JC handles and a small luggage rack over the taillight. A large mudguard mounts the license plate and tag light with the back blinkers mounted high on either side of the taillight. Tubular steel members on the Himalayan make up the half-duplex split cradle frame that carries a bash plate to protect the engine cases and lower frame members from terrain strikes. The 41mm front forks sport bellow gaiters to protect the inner fork tube and its associated seal from damage by grit and whatnot. Out back a monoshock handles business. Travel at the front axles measures 78.7 inches while out back it's a little shorter at 7.08 inches of travel. This should be plenty for rough terrain even if it falls short of pure D dirt bike numbers. Laced wheels, ever the favorite of off-road riders, round out the rolling chassis in a 17-inch diameter out back and a terrain tackling 21-inch wheel up front. They come shod in street knobbies that are effective on both the blacktop and the brown. A single 300mm disc and twin piston anchor slow the front wheel with a 240mm disc and single pot binder out back. ABS comes stock with 2 channels, an all-around setting and a front wheel-only setting that lets you break the rear end loose, which is particularly useful in an off-road setting.